The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Joined your channel.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sports Insider, coming to you live on Armed Radio Global. My name is Glenn Spillman, and I am your host for this evening. Coming to you live from Strawberry Lodge, just outside of Lake Tahoe. There's still quite a bit of snow up here. We've got people, actually, a wedding just happened about 15 minutes ago, so in the background you might hear a little bit of still leftover wedding, if you will, from that. But welcome to the show. If you guys want to call in tonight, it's 916-420-0697. Again, that is 916-420-0697. We'll get you that 1-800 number. We're still working on that for you. We got a lot of interesting stuff going on tonight. In the news, we've got stuff from all sports, but before I get into that, I want to let everybody know that if you, for whatever reason, missed the show, you can go on Spreaker.com, that is Spreaker, Spreaker.com, and you can type in whatever show that you missed. But on my show in particular, you just go in there, type in Sports Insider. All the shows from the past will come up, and you can listen to any show that you like. If you want to check out to see what shows are going on other than mine, go to armedradioglobalcom, go under shows or artists, and you can see shows like Night Talk with Joe Rocks, Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. You got Rock Talk with Amy Chafalo, Ask for Candy, All You Could Eat. Before my show, you've got Pop Talk with Jim and Paul. That is politically offensive talk. Really good show. I listen to that every single week before my show comes on. And also, after this one, you've got Betrayal. So check that out as well. If you guys want to follow us on Facebook, go to Armed Radio Group News, and you can hit the like page, follow us, and just check out everything that's going on. I'm going to promote my books like I did last week. You can check out my books on Amazon. Just type in Glenn Spillman. Pandora's Box will come up there. Frostbitten Spirits. Blood Spirit was just released last week. And really cool stuff. So you got ebooks if you're into ebooks, or you can order paperback. And anyway, again, we don't have a guest on this evening. I was going to interview three-time world champion Tony the Tiger Lopez, but he got caught up into a couple other things that he's doing. He's doing actually a promotion tonight that he's helping out a buddy of his, so we're going to nix that for another. I might interview him next week or here in a couple weeks, so we'll interview Tony the Tiger Lopez. For those of you paying attention to the NBA games, we've got a few scores to go over. Lakers are trailing the Pistons 74-87. That's not helping their playoff hopes. The Kings are in the fourth quarter with 4:50 left. They're trailing by 5. A game that they need to win. They're trailing the 76ers by 5 points. Got the Hornets, Wizards. Hornets 113-101 over the Wizards. And really, the only other notable game that West Coast Kings fans are paying attention to are Spurs versus the Knicks. And the Spurs are beating the Knicks 31-22. Granted, it's only the second half act, dude. When you had... it was last night. It was another must-win game for the Kings. The Kings was playing the Boston Celtics. The Kings had a 14-point lead at least twice during the game. They give up that lead Both times they lost in Beantown, 126-120. The Kings are 33-34. They're trying to get to that coveted 8th spot, which is currently held by the LA Clippers at 39-30. So you've got the Kings 6 games back out of that slot. But the way that the Clippers and the Spurs are going, it doesn't look like the Kings are going to make the playoffs. Heck, the Minnesota Timberwolves will more than likely overtake them. And if you don't want to call in, you can text the number, 916-420-0697. Some people don't want to call in. They want to text instead. And we've got a first text right now. Someone is asking about the Dallas Mavericks. Well, we must have a Dallas fan in the house. Dallas Mavericks, not doing too well. They're not even going to... They don't even have a mathematical chance to get into the playoffs. They are sitting at 27-41. They could win the rest of the games out the rest of the season, and they're not even going to get close to making the playoffs. So, for you Mavericks fan that just texted me that, sorry, brother. Ain't gonna happen. Interesting stuff. I don't talk about soccer too much on the show, but this was interesting because the fan came out and he punched a freaking player in the face. So in Birmingham City, a fan, obviously they took him to jail. He's been jailed 14 weeks after pleading guilty to assaulting Aston Villa, a midfielder, Jack Grealish, during the derby between the sides on Sunday. Paul Mitchell, not the guy who does hair, not the guy who's got the hair line, the shampoos and conditioners and all that kind of stuff. Different Paul Mitchell. Paul Mitchell, 27, swung a punch at Grealish when the player's back was turned. So basically he ran onto the field, and the soccer player was walking away from him, came onto the field, cold-cocked the dude in the side of the head. Player went down, didn't really react, but the other players came in and kind of laid a beat down a little bit on the guy. And that happened in Birmingham City in Andrews Stadium during the championship match. Mitchell from Rubbery, Worcestershire, also admitted to invading the pitch, which is the field, and was giving a 10-year football banning order. Meaning, can't go to any games for 10 years, brother. Whether that's going to happen or not, different story. Can they really police the guy and see if he goes to any games when he's got 30, 40, 50, 60, 80,000 fans? Kind of hard to do, but he's got a 10-year football banning order. If he gets caught, don't know what's going to happen to him. I would like to find that out. And here is a quote. I quote, "I cannot help but feel how lucky I was in this incident." This is from the player. "It could have been so much worse had the supporter had some sort of weapon." End quote. So yeah, if the dude had a knife or something like that, I mean, oh man, I'm drinking this really cool coffee. It's a Norwegian medium roast that is brewed here at Strawberry Lodge. And they just walked over to me and handed me a cup in my favorite cup, my New York Yankees cup. And this coffee is absolutely phenomenal. I always love, it's always cool to be drinking out of my Yankees cup on this Boston radio station. I'm sure the guys in Boston are cringing right now. NBA news, New York Knicks owner James Dolan, he's kind of a douchebag, admitted by several people, but he instructed security to detain a fan who told him, and I quote, the fan yelled, "Sell the team," after Saturday's loss to the Sacramento Kings. This is last Saturday. Dolan was walking into the tunnel and a fan stands up and he yells down at Dolan. The billionaire stopped to respond, and I quote, "So you think I should sell the team?" He waved the fan over. So he's like, "Come here, bro." So what do you think the fan's going to do? And then this is what he said to the fan, and I quote, "You want to not come to any more games?" End quote. Dolan asked and said to the fan's comment was rude. Now, how do you get rude after sell the team? I don't think that's rude. The team sucks. Sell the team. It wasn't rude. The fan protested, and he was stating an opinion. Dolan answered, "No, it's not an opinion. And you know what? Enjoy watching them on TV." End quote. Dolan then pointed to the fan, nodded towards security, who instructed the fan to be held. What a douchebag. So, and it was not clear if the unidentified, they didn't even get the dude's name, had been banned from attending future games, but Garden's spokesperson later issued a statement that read, quote, "Our policy is and will continue to be that if you are disrespectful to anyone in our venues, we will ask you not to return." End quote. Well. I guess we do not have freedom of speech anymore, our First Amendment rights. The guy did not yell at Dolan. He did not offensively say anything to Dolan. He did not offensively approach Dolan. He did not throw anything at Dolan. As all he said was sell the team. I don't see any harm in that, sell the team. But this fan was asked to leave and never to return. We got another ding on our... Oh, someone says love Paul Mitchell. Well, as I said before, crazy people, it is not Paul Mitchell, the hairline. It is Paul Mitchell, the idiots. So, anyway, former New York Knicks star Charles Oakley has something to say about Dolan. He said that the team owner of the New York Knicks, James Dolan, is a bully. And I quote, "He is a bully for threatening fans and to ban fans from Madison Square Garden." And I quote another one from Charles Oakley, "He just tries to bully everybody, and it just don't make sense." End quote. Well, you should probably take an English lesson there, brother. It doesn't make sense, not don't make sense. And we are getting more texts on here. And again, if you guys want to follow on Facebook, it's Armed Radio Group News. Go to Armed Radio Group News and follow us. So here's another. Someone says the uber rich have gotten too powerful in ego, and they need a reality check. He is a bully. Yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, Dolan thinks that his shite don't stink, and for him to do that to a fan, I'm sorry. Another interesting thing that happened a few days ago, Utah Jazz permanently banned the fan who had heated exchange with Oklahoma City Thunder star Russell Westbrook. This happened on Monday night, and he said in a statement, the Jazz personnel said in a statement, "There's no place in our game for personal attacks or disrespect," end quote. The NBA fined Westbrook $25,000 for directing profanity and threatening language to a fan. Here's another quote. "Everyone deserves the opportunity to enjoy and play the game in a safe, positive, and inclusive environment." This was a quote by Jazz president Steve Starks. "Offensive and abusive behavior does not reflect the values of the Miller family, our organization, and the community. We all have responsibility to respect the game of basketball and, more importantly, each other as human beings. This has always been a hallmark of our incredible fan base and should forever be our standard for moving forward," end quote. Now, there is a video of Westbrook saying, "I'll fuck you up." The Jazz fan Shane Kiesel and his female companion while standing near the end of the Thunder bench during the second quarter. And so he straight up said, I'll fuck you up. And that's threatening. The fan did not say anything, but here's what the fan said. This is what Westbrook said that the fan said. Get on your knees like you're used to. A comment that Westbrook considered, and I quote, completely disrespectful and racial. All right. I will agree with completely disrespectful. Okay, it could be disrespectful. Get on your knees like you're used to. Racial? Come on, man. Quit using the black card and saying, oh, it's racial, it's racial, it's racial. It is not racial. Have some cheese with that wine, and here's some tissue for your issue, brother. Get on your knees like you're used to. That's not racial. Now, that could be like homophobic, like, he's going to suck someone off or something like that. But that's not racial. So, the guy said, well, what I said was, you've had two hurt knees. He said something like that. He said that he did not say get on your knees like he said. Even if he did, how's that racial? Please, anyone listening right now, text me, 916-420-0697, or go on Facebook and text me on there and explain to me how that's racial. Disrespectful? Maybe. But Westbrook goes over to the guy and his female companion and says, I'll fuck you up. Now, that is threatening. That's disrespectful, especially saying that in front of a lady. And that could be offensive. So anyway, gets fined 25 G's. Nothing too bad. Let's see if we've got anything else in Facebook land. Any questions? Nope. Any questions on the phone? Nope. Okay, keep those questions coming, ladies and gents. Let's move on to MLB action. Now, we all know LeBron James is the King James. Well, Bryce Harper just has overthrown the King. According to retailer Fanatics, Harper's new Philadelphia Phillies jersey set a company record by becoming the top online seller in any sport. Not just baseball, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats. Any freaking sport for any freaking player during the first 48 hours after its launch. The previous record belonged to King LeBron James and his Los Angeles Lakers jersey. So the next best-selling jerseys after James were Giancarlo Stanton, New York Yankees, Khalil Mack, Chicago Bears, and Jimmy Garoppolo, San Francisco 49ers. Bryce Harper blew it out of the water. I mean, the dude signed a 13-year, I believe it was $330 million. Philadelphia Phillies. So he will be. Oh man, that's good coffee. It is nice and smooth, and they make their cream here fresh, and it's a hazelnut cream, and they make it here fresh, and they put some other stuff in it. I don't know what they put in it, but good God, if you guys ever make it to Northern California, and you're driving up Highway 50 towards Lake Tahoe, about 15 miles before Lake Tahoe, you'll see Strawberry Lodge. Now, Strawberry Lodge has been here since, 1830, 1840. It's the original lodge, and it's haunted, by the way. And stop in here and get some of their freaking coffee, man. Especially on a snowy day. Now, since we are on a Boston radio station, I can't leave out the Boston Red Sox. But what I'm about to say is not very flattering for the Boston Red Sox because their knuckleballer, Steve Wright, was suspended 80 games on Wednesday after testing positive for a performance-enhancing substance. So, this is the substance that he tested positive for. Growth hormone releasing peptide, GHRP-2. Growth hormone releasing peptide 2. Again, GHRP-2. So, bye-bye, Steve Wright. See you later. Sayonara. Peace out. Goodbye, brother. You were gone 80 games. Now, there's over 170 some odd games every year in Major League Baseball, so that's just a little under half a season. But how do these idiots keep getting caught for performance-enhancing drugs? I mean, dude, if you go to, go to marijuanabreak.com, you could buy synthetic urine. Yes, do something like that. Rather than just do stupid stuff, get caught, and get suspended 80 games. My question, which they didn't say, I want to know if the guy is going to get suspended 80 games without pay. Because if you're suspended 80 games with pay, oh well, I wouldn't care if someone jacked me for 80 games and said, bro, you're done for 80 games, but we're going to still pay you. I'm like, all right, I can dig that. So anyway, all you ball players out there, all you football players, baseball players, soccer, quit doing the juice, man. And if you're going to do it in a way that you're not going to get caught. Don't be stupid about it. NCAA. Let's move on to some really interesting stuff going on in the NCAA. So there's court filings. Well, before I get into that, I think we got another question on Facebook. Oh, no, it's not a question. It's just a statement. Someone said paid vacation. Yes, it is a paid vacation. 80-day paid vacation. Abso-freaking-lutely. Court filings in a federal criminal case involving college basketball corruption link former NC State coach Mark Gottfried to being the first head coach directly connected to impermissible payments to players. According to a disclosure from a federal prosecutor, former NC State assistant coach Orlando Early's attorney said his client disclosed that Gottfried on 2 occasions gave him envelopes containing what Early believed was cash. He believed it was cash. Didn't know. He goes, I believe it was cash. To deliver to star guard Dennis Smith Jr.'s trainer to ensure he signed with the Wolfpack in 2015. Smith's trainer Sean Farmer was supposed to deliver the envelope to Dennis Smith Sr., the father of the 5-star recruit who is now a point guard with the New York Knicks. Well. The shenanigans are afoot. Now, let me tell you something. I've played sports on all levels. And let me tell you that if you do not think that athletes get juiced, greased, whatever you want to call it, say, hey, come play for my school. Or, hey, you did a good job on the field. Here's a couple bucks for you. Good job. Keep it up. If you think that doesn't happen, you're delusional. You're absolutely 100% delusional. I've had it done to me. I've seen it done to other people. I've witnessed it firsthand. And if you think that it doesn't happen, you're crazy. So let's talk about that for a moment. Should NCAA athletes get paid? And how unfair that it is that they don't. All right. So let's talk about this. And the person that keeps texting me, chime in on this at any time. Now, you get a college education. So let's just say, for the sake of math, that your education in a 4-year university is $80,000. That's $20,000 a year. Depending on the school, it could be much more. I should have looked up a couple of schools, see what their tuition is, but I didn't. But let's just say $80,000. I know OU, the University of Oklahoma, that's about right. So they're saying, well, the players get a full scholarship. So that's their pay. They get to stay in the dorms. They get everything done for them. And therefore, that's their pay. Well, while the NCAA and the colleges make not millions, but billions of dollars every year on these sports. Right now, the University of Oklahoma, the stadium there, seats about 82,000 people. So you just take 82,000 and you times that by, let's say, an average ticket, let's just say $50, just to be generous. $50 times 80,000. That is if my math is correct, that is $4 million. Right? That can't be $400,000. That's going to be $4 million. $4 million a game. Not counting parking, not counting food, not counting drinks. And from what I understand, if it's still the way it was when I was there, they don't sell beer in the stadium. They sell everything else but alcohol in the stadium. Now, outside the stadium, you can drink whatever you want. But inside the stadium, so let's just say they make $4 million a game. You don't think that a piece of that action should go to the players? Let's just say you take $100,000 and let's add that up here. I'm going to pull out my calculator. Let's just take 100,000 and divide it by 52 players. That's $1,923 per game that a player would get. That is nothing compared to what the school makes. These players get fined if someone says, "Oh, bro, you can crash at my pad tonight." They think that that's preferential treatment. Oh, someone just texted me a OU GIF of, it looks like Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield. Thank you for that GIF, by the way. Do I think players should be paid? Absolutely. I'll tell you why. Because these players are bringing in the revenue, allowing the colleges to gain monetarily and financially from these players. Oh, someone just texted me, down with the Horns. Well, they must be an OU fan. Absolutely down with the Horns. Screw Texas. Should the players be paid? Yes. How much they should... I think they should all... It shouldn't be, well, the quarterback gets more than a wide receiver. The wide receiver gets more than a running back. Running back gets more than a kicker. It shouldn't be. It should be, let's just say for the sake of math, we will give you guys $1,000 a game just for the sake of math. $1,000 a game. That is a drop in an ocean compared to what these schools make. So, again, do I think they should be paid? Abso-freaking-lutely. I think I am done on that. I mean, I could spend the rest of the hour talking about whether or not these people should get paid. Absolutely, they should get paid. Because if they get hurt, their school career is done. There should be compensation, too. Say, if you get hurt, we're going to give you X, Y, and Z. Okay. Moving on in NCAA, Mercer has fired men's basketball coach Bob Hoffman. The school announced Monday, just 4 days ago. Athletic director Jim Cole informed the Hoffman Monday after the Bears season ended Saturday that Southern Conference quarterfinals. And I quote, Coach Hoffman has made an indelible mark on the Mercer basketball program, Cole said in a statement. End quote. Well, let me stop there. If Cole, the athletic director, thinks that Hoffman has made on the basketball program, then why did they get rid of him? Answer me that. Why did they get rid of him? And for those of you that do not know what indelible means, it means making a mark that cannot be removed. Well, that alone could be construed as positive or negative. Indelible, he made a bad mark. Or indelible, he made a great mark. Bob always ran this program and mentored his student athletes in first-class manner and represented our university well. Personally, I don't know of two better people than Bob and his wife, Kelly. I know I speak for all the Bears in thanking them for the time and effort that they have devoted to Mercer University. Bob, his staff, and his student athletes have laid a foundation that our program can build upon and ultimately, I believe, consistently compete for conference championships and national recognition, end quote. These quotes, first off, are canned. These quotes are a bunch of bullcrap that just stroke these people. If you think that this guy is such a great person, and him and his wife are two of the best people that you know, and he's ran a first-class, program, why'd you fire him? That's what I want to know. If you lose, and I've said this every single time, if you lose a ball game, is it the coach's fault? No. If you win a ball game, is it because of the coach? No. It's because of the players. The coach isn't out there missing baskets. Coach isn't out there fouling out. Now, yes, the coach may run some plays and he may do a few things here and there, but he's ultimately not out there making these plays. And someone just texted me, office politics. Absolutely, it's office politics. It is just, I just don't understand how you could say all these nice things about these people, and then it just goes in the freaking toilet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the time of March is coming to where it is March madness, March craziness, March shenanigans, and absolutely anything can happen in the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament. Two important dates are coming up. You've got Sunday, which is St. Patty's Day, and have fun eating corned beef and cabbage and carrots and all that stuff. Then you have Tuesday, March 19th, the beginning of the tournament goes all the way to Monday, April 8th. So, there are 68 teams in this little I say little. It's not little. There's 68 teams in this huge freaking tournament. So, for those of you who wanted to do brackets, you can go to ESPN, hit Tournament Challenge, and you've got 17 brackets that you could do. I've got 3 of them. I got one for myself, one for my son, and one for my daughter. My son Finley and my daughter Willow. I did a bracket for each one of them. They can't really help me out because Willow is 8 months old and Finn is 2 years old. So I don't know. I might I don't know. I might do something with Finn where he could help me pick out a few teams, but I don't know. But you've got 1 day, 21 hours, 21 minutes, and 21 seconds to get your brackets up and running. March Madness is going to be that alone. Freaking madness. I mean, if you want to go to one of these, it's going to be a pretty penny to go to any of them. But you've got Dayton, Ohio, Hartford, Connecticut, Salt Lake City, Utah, Des Moines, Iowa, Jacksonville, Florida, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'll probably make the one in San Jose, California at the SAP Center. So that's going to be the first and second rounds there. So I'll probably check that out. See here. Thought we got another text, but no, we did not. So I will probably do my. I might do 1 or 2 more selections. I don't know yet. But keeping on with that, I'll probably do one for my older daughter. I don't know. But if we keep going on with the fraud that's going on, we have administration fraud going on in a lot of colleges. Now, they've been busting a lot of these actors that pay big money to get their son or daughter into a school, you know, like USC. They're greasing the palms of people. And do these kids deserve to be in school? I mean, when I applied for OU way back in the day, I did it myself. I didn't have any influence from my parents. I didn't have any influence from my uncle, which happened to know a lot of people at OU. I did it myself. There are people out there that there was one guy who got paid $10,000 per test that he did for people. Get their son, obviously not their daughter, but their son into these colleges like USC, Stanford, Cal. He got $10,000 per test. So if this guy does 5 tests, 10 tests around, you know, he's making some pretty good change. Now there's a federal probe that's going on, busting a lot of actors and a lot of people fraudulently getting into these schools. It's too bad because people can't even do it the old-fashioned way. They can't, you know, take the test themselves. They can't do good in school. I mean, forget getting on a sports scholarship. Just getting into these schools, period. I mean, there was this one girl who was a daughter of an actress that I will remain nameless. I don't want to give them any props, but she goes, I really don't want to go to school. I want to experience college life. I want to experience partying and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, screw that. Former Georgia Tech assistant coach is being charged by the NCAA with level 1 violations relating to Atlanta's strip club visits. Well. Who did we have just a couple of weeks ago visiting strip clubs? Oh, yeah. That'd be Mr. Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots. So, this included current Chicago Bulls rookie Wendell Carter Jr. and former Georgia Tech and NBA player Jarrett Jack. Jack, whom the NCAA declared to be the representative of Georgia Tech's athletic interests, is alleged to have provided Carter and an unidentified then Georgia Tech player, with $300 for the strip club visit. So, here you go, brother. And brother, here's $300, $150 each to go spend as you wish on this strip club. Enjoy yourselves. I mean, you gotta wonder, what are these people doing that are getting caught? I mean, it's very easy to slip someone some money. How are they getting caught? Probably these idiots are out talking about it. So let's switch to the NFL. Now there could be a reunion in New England with the Bennett brothers, with Michael set to join the team via trade and Martellus contemplating a return to football. Philadelphia Eagles have informed Michael Bennett that they are planning to trade him to the Patriots, and with that trade, they're set to finalize the tight end Martellus is interested in coming out of retirement to join his brother in New England. That would be a nice little tandem, actually. What the Eagles would get would be a fifth-round pick in the 2020 draft and send Michael Bennett and 2020 seventh-round pick to the Patriots. Again, I would like to see that. I'm not a New England fan, but I'd like to see those two brothers. That'd be nice. Antonio Brown got everything that he wanted when he didn't want to be around Ben Roethlisberger anymore. He didn't want to play in Pittsburgh, and he pissed and moaned. So he wanted out of Pittsburgh. He got that. He didn't want to play for Buffalo. He got that. He wanted to play for Oakland Raiders. He got that. And he wanted a certain amount of money, and he got that. So he got everything that he wanted. People say that he's full of drama, and he's going to the Raiders, and he's full. Well, let me tell you something. The Raiders themselves are nothing but drama. I'm a Raider fan. I've been a Raider fan my whole life. They are nothing but drama. That's where the rejects go for the most part. That's just the way it is. The drama surrounds Oakland, always has, probably always will. No big deal. Antonio Brown will do well there. He'll fit right into the black hole. Kansas City Chiefs released four-time Pro Bowl linebacker Justin Houston on Sunday. The Chiefs had tried to trade Houston, but no team was willing to pick up the $15.25 million base salary that he was due this season. So Houston's a free agent. Turned 30 on January. Not on, but in January. So he was picked by Kansas City, third round, 70th overall from Georgia in 2011. So he quickly showed that he was worth his money, and he had immense pass rush ability. He got 3 sacks in a game against the Bears as a rookie. He had 22 sacks in 2014, missing the NFL record by a half a sack. A half a sack. So Houston, after that, boom, went downhill, and not even close to that standard. So his best sack total in the past 4 seasons is 9.5 in 2017, and he has a total of 78.5 career sacks. So, you know what? If you come out and you're banging, and you're doing good, and then you fall that far in your performance and ability, what do you think's going to happen to you? Peace out. Bye-bye. You're gone. We're going to talk a few things about Conor McGregor here in a couple of minutes. And he's gotten himself in trouble again, but we'll go with that here in a minute. So the interim UFC lightweight title headed to the auction block. Tony Ferguson is again trying to pick a fight with Conor McGregor, which is not hard to do. Conor is like a lit firecracker 24/7. And here's what Ferguson wrote on Twitter, and I quote, "I've got a solid right hand to test that chin of his," end quote. Ferguson, who is 35 years old, has been on the shelf waiting for a title shot since stopping ex-champ Anthony Pettis in the co-headliner at UFC 229. And that main event was between McGregor and lightweight champion Khabib. And we all know the melee that happened after that. And here's what McGregor said in his tweet, and I quote, "If we have the ability to go back, Tony, then we have the ability to go forward again. I wish you well and am praying for you as a fellow colleague. Respect to my paradigm familia, yours sincerely, Burger King." What the crap does that even mean? I have no idea. It's a bunch of crap from Conor McGregor. It sounds like Conor McGregor is running from Tony Ferguson. Sounds like Conor McGregor doesn't want to test that right hand on his chin. Sounds a little scared to me. Sincerely yours, Burger King. What, double whopper? So, you know what? I'd like to see that fight. So, Conor, quit running, quit hiding, quit ducking, quit shucking, and quit jiving. When we talked about his little temper earlier, he got arrested again in South Florida for smashing the cell phone of somebody who was trying to take his photo. This is according to authorities. According to Miami Beach police report, McGregor was arrested Monday afternoon and charged with strong-armed robbery and criminal mischief, both felonies. The report indicated McGregor was leaving the Fontainebleau, Miami Beach, shortly after 5 a.m. Monday when a 22-year-old man attempted to take the picture of Conor. Police said McGregor slapped the phone out of the man's hand, then stomped on it several times, and then he grabbed the phone and left the area. So, they found McGregor a little bit later at his local address, and he was released on $12,500 bail late Monday night, which is nothing for McGregor to pay. According to the state attorney's office, his arraignment will be on April 10th, and McGregor's defense attorney, San Rabin, issued the following statement Monday, and I quote, "Last evening, Conor McGregor was involved in a minor altercation involving a cell phone that resulted in a call to law enforcement. Mr. McGregor appreciates the response of law enforcement and pledges his full cooperation," end quote. Bro, the dude wasn't on your jock. He wasn't asking you for a selfie. He was doing nothing but taking a photo of you. So you go up to this man, you slap the phone out of his hand, stomp on it, then take it. That's robbery, brother. That's assault. That's why you got 2 felonies hanging over your head. And this is after the melee, and he was done with this Brooklyn, New York incident. He completed his court-mandated 5 whole days. Wow. Whoa. 5 whole days of community service. And he served it at a Brooklyn church. I guess he didn't learn anything in church. That was part of a plea deal when he was, when he threw that thing at the bus. I believe it was a hand roll cart. And he had an anger management program lasting 1 to 3 days. Now, this guy needs anger management for 1 to 3 years. And he's not going to face any jail time, and his travel visa will not be affected, and he will not have a criminal record. But after this last altercation with this guy, with the robbery and criminal mischief, he might have 2 felonies on his hand. And the last one about McGregor, and I know we've got a lot about McGregor, but the last one, and before I get to a funny story, the last one about McGregor, the expiration date of Donald Cowboy Cerrone's patience is fast approaching. Cerrone, his record, 35-11, has been in talks with the UFC since last fight in February regarding a potential non-title bout against Conor McGregor. According to Cerrone, the UFC initially wanted it to happen April 13th, before exploring the possibility of July 6th. UFC commentator Joe Rogan recently claimed in a podcast that talks with McGregor hit a snag. Wow, like they always do. Because the UFC wants him to appear in a co-main event, Cerrone, who met with UFC President Dana White last week in Las Vegas, confirmed that he has been told the same. Quote, Conor won't fight unless it's a main event. Another quote, I don't know if it's an ego thing or a status thing for him. I don't give a shit. I'll fight anybody, anywhere, and I stand by that all the time. I guess he's a prima donna and only takes main event spots. I don't know. End quote. Well, he's right about the ego. He's right about the status, and he's right about the prima donna. I mean, Conor McGregor is all of that, and he only wants to be a main event. Well, you know what? What happens when you're the main event, brother? You get slapped by Diaz. You get tapped out. And you get knocked out. Take the fight. Quit running. Let's see you. Let's quit running your mouth, man. Get in the ring. Or the octagon, excuse me. Get in the octagon and freaking fight. Last MMA story. This is funny. To me, it's ridiculous and funny. A man who claimed to be a mixed martial arts fighter used a move not sanctioned in any fight, and the move was spitting. He was allegedly struggling with several New York County Sheriff's deputies, and according to charge documents, as of Tuesday, Tyler James Schlusser, 28 years old, of the 500 block of East Street, Carlisle, remained in New York County Prison on $75,000 bail. He faces charges of aggravated assault, aggravated harassment by a prisoner, simple assault, and harassment. Carroll Township Police brought Schlusser a central booking just after 3 a.m. on a DUI charge. Sometime later, Schlusser, that's a jacked up name, say that 3 times, grew upset when he was told that a booking policy dictated he had to use an office phone to call for a ride home, not his cell phone. Documents state Schlusser began to use profanity at deputies, then resisted their efforts to move him into a different area at the booking center. When deputies attempted to remove Schlusser's handcuffs, the police to place him in a restraint chair, he declared that he was an MMA fighter and challenged them to a fight. Schlusser, sounds like loser, but Schlusser is not listed in any major online MMA database, can't find him anywhere, either as an amateur or professional fighter, and he allegedly spit on 5 deputies as they tried to gain control of him, according to documents. Well, this guy's an idiot. They were going to let him go home. But he chose to, you can't use your cell phone, brother. You got to use an office phone. I'd have been like, all right, peace out. But no, what did this guy do? He had to be a freaking baby. And he had to go off and fight, 5 police officers? It's a freaking moron. I mean, you hear this stuff all the freaking time. Real quick, Pistons beat the Lakers 111-97, and 76ers beat the Kings 123-114, and there goes their Kings playoffs hopes sliding down, sliding down, sliding down. And real quick, if you guys missed the show, you can go to Spreaker.com, type in Sports Insider, and you can catch not only this show, but every show that I have done since February the 9th of February was the premiere. And then we've got 16th, 23rd of February, March 2nd, and March 8th. And if you want to follow us on, you can follow Sports Insider on Facebook under Sports Insider. You can follow me personally on Facebook under Glenn Spillman. Or if you want to follow Armed Radio and see everything that they got going on, go to Armed Radio Group News. We are on every single Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you want to write this number down and call in for future shows, 916-420-0697. You can call. You can text. If you're following me on Facebook, like these people were doing earlier, you can Facebook message me, and I've had about 5 people throughout the show do that. And if you want to, again, go to armradioglobal.com, check out all the other shows that are on there, and you know what? Check out the show after this. You've got Betrayal. So check that out if you want to hear some interesting stuff. Check out that show, the show before mine, Pot Talk, politically offensive talk, really funny. But anyway, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe, especially on St. Patty's Day. If you drink too much, get an Uber. We'll see you next Friday. Be nice to each other. Peace out.